Okay, so I decided to kind of split up this evening because I recorded my little feelings video, but by now I do noticeably feel better, and the internet guy finally came and just left. I think he was here for like 30 minutes, so it did turn out to be their fault, which is great. I think he was saying that my signal was kind of high, that it should be closer to zero. I think he was basically saying that there was some interference going on. So even though today I was able to get 150 megabits per second, I definitely noticed lag in Diablo 3. And I basically used that as my testing tool to see how my tumbles and my vaults would be like, how smooth they were, and they were definitely noticeably smoother. And I thought I was imagining things for a while, like expecting perfection out of a game or smoothness or something. But anyways, I am finally going to get some chicken and bubble tea. I really hope that this trip doesn't take too long, because I really want to come back and just eat, drink, spend some time with Riley. I really don't want her to be in the crate for too long, because she was in it for most of the day, and I would take her with me. It just feels a little pointless and a little bit more of a hassle when I just want to get food. So getting food, and then I have either Mother or my Argentina film. Maybe I'll do Mother. I just hope I don't get scared, but I am glad I feel better. I am very hungry, so it's time to eat.
Wish I could take it all back. Press rewind and take a picture of the past. Pause it, feel my heart turn black. My lungs are smoldering, I'm breathing in the ash. Feeling fucking lucky like the fucking Irish. I see the whole game from my third iris. I tour the whole world like a dirty pirate. Then get the whole club some Miley Cyrus. Wondering if I'ma ever fall off. Feeling mad at the world when I hit it with a sawed off. Going out like a mother dog. This is war, everybody, you know, reason I'm a colored dog. Get it right. Shout out to the homie Dizzy Right. In the studio every day, so you know that shit about to be a busy night. Everything's up, everything's up.
Someone smell something. I see you sniffing the air. So, oh my gosh, that was honestly just such a stressful trip because there is no parking at any of these locations. I actually can't stand that every single time I go out around here. When I was in New Jersey, anytime you wanted to go somewhere, you didn't have to worry about finding parking. But I went to the chicken place first, put in my order, took 20 minutes to make. After I put in my order, I went to bubble tea, and then they are just really bad at service when there's a lot of people there. Like, there's no people in line, but then after you place your order, sometimes it just takes forever for your drink to be made. So this is taro milk tea with bubbles. And then I went back to the chicken place. I am actually so excited for this. I love radish. But anyways, it smells really good. I cannot wait to dig into this. And I have Mother to watch. So hopefully this food will be so overwhelmingly delicious that I won't be scared by the movie. But I will let you guys know what I think about the movie after. Sorry, excuse the noise. I'm watching the movie right now. It is creeping me out a little bit just because I don't really know what to expect, but I have my savior right here. Oh, nice. That's great. Okay, I just got done watching Mother, and so I had read my fair share of reviews for this movie, and the interesting thing is it has mixed reviews, but for some reason it feels like the dominant side is just that it is a bad movie. But like Roger Ebert's site gave it a 3 out of 4, I think, and then IMDb is a 7. Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 60%, which is not ideal, but it's also not the worst. So let me just say first that I kind of got curious and I read some articles while I was watching about what the meaning of this movie was. And a lot of them said that, well, at least Darren Aronofsky basically said that it's a biblical reference. So my problem with that is just that I don't know anything about the Bible. I don't know stories. I don't know any of the symbolism, any of that. So, me watching this movie would have been very difficult, pretty much impossible for me to make those connections. So, as someone that doesn't know any of those references, I could pretty much only watch it in a regular audience way. That sounds really stupid to say, but I did also read that he wrote the script because it's supposed to resemble how Jennifer Lawrence is Mother Nature, and us as humans just keep taking and taking and taking and taking until she can't give anymore. And it's pretty much reminiscent of what is going around in the real world. Endangered species eventually go extinct, or there's just so much conflict in between just the human race and all of that, or like resources are dwindling and our lifestyle cannot be supported long term. So this movie was really difficult for me to watch because throughout pretty much the entire movie, there are a ton of scenarios where people are taking from her and she is just helpless trying to get them to stop. And I think my personal connection with this situation is just like, I feel like it's kind of common for the average human to be extremely inconsiderate. I would like to think that I have been a considerate person. Just would always consider like noise levels, if what I'm doing might potentially be distracting and bothersome to someone else. And I don't think many people consider somebody else, especially when they're doing activity. You know, I feel like sometimes people like that, it's similar to other situations where you just can't reason with them. And this movie showed that scenario constantly. So it became very stressful for me to watch because in my mind, I felt like I was just so enraged at what was happening. And I think that really was his goal with this movie. And especially Javier Bardem's character was depicted in a way where he was just so careless, I guess. And I know that served the purpose, but man, his character really, really irritated me because she was pleading with him desperately to just care about her feelings, consider like what she might be feeling or what might be a bother to her or what she might want. And they're supposed to be a married couple. So constantly in the movie, he is completely disregarding her needs. He is placing other people's desires above hers, complete strangers. So these are just common things that keep happening throughout this 2-hour movie. And it gets exhausting to be seeing these actions repeated over and over. So I think it would be hard for me to say if I recommend this movie just because I don't think I was ever the type of movie watcher that really liked to see a ton of symbolism. I like it, but I don't always necessarily want my movie to be completely and entirely symbolic like that. So even though I do completely agree with his notion about us completely taking from Mother Nature and taking way more than she can give, and it really is just, it made me sad. Like in the end, I can't spoil it, but oh man, like I definitely teared up a little bit. But yes, it was a very tough watch. I definitely wouldn't consider it horror actually. So there were a few scenes where they were building suspense, but it was nothing crazy. Like just a slight surprise that would just kind of make you like jump, but it wasn't necessarily always a scary surprise. It was like either a presence or just nothing like supernatural in terms of horror in that sense. So, you know, I don't really know how I feel after watching this movie. Not very good, that's for sure. I definitely respect his vision because he chooses to make movies like this. Actually, that's a good point. The fact that he makes movies like this with like random out there concepts and he doesn't make mainstream movies, I already respect that quite a bit. Black Swan was very confusing for me to understand, but I thought it was quite an interesting movie when I first saw it, but it has been a while. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about this movie. 10:30. I feel like this movie exhausted me, but I feel like I kind of want to play some Diablo 3, so maybe I'll farm a little bit, but if I'm tired, I'll probably go straight to bed.